Hi everyone! So I'm cleaning my craft space and I thought that this would be a fun tutorial to take you along with because I'm not sure what's going on in your neck of the woods, but we are definitely homebound in my neck of the woods and we will be for some time. So we are doing all things fun and also all things organizing. So if you are homebound like me, this might be a fun little project for you to take on and use this opportunity to spend some quality time with your people, but also to get some stuff organized. So I have this big bin, oh my goodness, and I will tip it over and show you, but just to show you kind of the mess that's going on here, this is supposed to be my vinyl bin, and I'll tell you all about it, but it's kind of become my HTV bin and my vinyl bin, and it's just kind of a mess. So I am going to show you what I'm going to do to kind of get myself organized, and we're going to start with this bin. So I'm also going to show you a little bit more about this bin. It also comes with an insert that's supposed to sit in the top, but I took this insert out and I'm going to use this as a drawer insert. So I am going to show you how I'm going to put some vinyl in this insert and then on my bin to just get some labeling going on. I am a lover of labeling. I think it's so fun. It's kind of my love language, if you would say. I'm my happiest when I can label things and get things in pretty baskets, and it's just kind of my thing. So I'm going to take you along with me today as I start getting things organized, and step one is my vinyl bin and the top drawer of my craft space. So I thought this would be a fun project. We are going to be doing a little mixture of print and cut and vinyl. I'll be using my maker today because my maker does print and cut. If you don't have a maker, if you're working with the Joy, you just won't be able to do this printable vinyl part because the Joy doesn't do printable vinyl or print and cut. So you can just choose a different design but take away the tips and techniques for the actual labels. So I'm also going to be using this really pretty light pink or blush. I think this is what I'm going to use for my labels. I'm going to see how my printable vinyl floral thing is going to turn out, and I just want to make sure that I know the exact colors before I match the vinyl. So I'll update you if this color changes. So this is just Cricut printable vinyl. It's awesome. It's the only printable vinyl I use. I really love it. It comes in an 8.5 by 11 sheet, and I have this little piece left over, so I'm going to try and see if I can fit this through my printer today to save some scraps. So I'll let you know how that goes. We'll also need some masking transfer tape for the vinyl part of this, and then some scissors and a weeding tool will be helpful, a measuring tool, and then we're also going to use a Cricut scraping, or no, not Cricut, I'm sorry, this is 651 vinyl. You can use whatever scraping tool you have, but I have definitely fallen in love very hard with this scraper, and so if you guys order from 651 vinyl, make sure you place one of these in your cart because you won't regret it. It's super, super nice. Okay, let me take all the vinyl out of my bin and then I'll tip it and we can get it measured. Okay, so here is the actual bin, and if you are curious, this just fits right inside the top here, but I knew I wanted my vinyl rolls to stand up straight. I think it's easy to see, just an easy way to see my vinyl, and it kind of helps me when I'm planning projects to see it all. And if you guys are curious about how I store scrap vinyl, then be sure to check out this link that I'm going to post up here. I made bins just for my scrap vinyl, and it's really helpful. So if you need help with that, then go ahead and look there. Okay, so let me kind of manipulate. There's a lot of big things on the table today. So, okay, so the measurements for this front area are coming in at about 11 by 7. We'll say 11 by 7. And then we'll set this one to the side. And then the measurements in here, we're going to do some individual little labels in here. We have, probably should grab my little Post-it note for this. Okay, so for the big one, we have 11 by 4. So we'll do 11 by 4. Okay, and that other one was 11 by 7. Okay, keep ourselves organized here. And so So we're staying at 4 by about 7.5. And then 4 by just about 3 3/4. So almost a square there. Okay, so we have our measurements. Sometimes doing a lot of measuring up front is going to help you because you'll only have to print all your vinyl once and you know it's going to fit. It's just going to be worth taking the extra step. So grab those Post-its and take your notes. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to hop into Design Space. I'm going to show you my idea for creating labels for both this bin and then an inside of the drawer bin. Of course, if you wanted to buy this exact product, it's from Michaels. I will be sure to link it below. If you want to buy this exact product and place it like this, go for it. It would make an awesome little container. Again, I just split mine up because I have 2 different uses, so I kind of thought this is such a bonus. I'm buying one thing and I'm getting 2 areas completely organized. Okay, guys, let's hop into Design Space. I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do with this, and I think you're going to love it because I have a feeling a lot of you are loving florals just like I am based on your comments. So let's get all things floral going on. Okay, so here we are. First and foremost, I'm going to switch over from the Joy to the Maker. And if Design Space will wake up, everybody is tired this morning. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to do a little hard work up front, and I'm going to make all of those measurements that we measured out of little boxes here. So these are, I'm just going to click the shape box if it will let me. Goodness, everything's so sleepy today. We are going to just replicate all of those measurements that we measured and wrote on our Post-it note. So this first one's going to measure that big bin that we had. And so that had a width of 11 and it was by 7. And I'll just color it white. And then the next one we have, we'll just create another shape box and we'll create another square and unlock it so that we can do other measurements than a perfect square. So we are going to make this one 11 by 4. So this was that inner portion, the long inner portion of the inside. We'll make this white as well. Then we are going to go ahead and do, let's see, it was 7.5 by 4. 7.5 by 4. So if you'll remember, this was kind of looked like this. I think replicating can be super helpful, especially with my measuring. Okay, and then we have one more. And this one is 3.75 by 4. Okay, so this one should fit just like this. I'm not sure why that is bigger than the other, but I think I measured that right. Maybe I measured down on this one just to be safe, but regardless, it is going to be fine. As long as the smaller ones are correct too, because those have tighter spaces, then we are good to go. Okay, so here we are. And what we're going to do is I'm going to design this first one first. So I'm going to go over here to the images box and I'm going to type in watercolor floral bunch. Okay, and this first one that pops up is this one. How pretty is this? And look, it has other ones that go along with it. Can you imagine all the beautiful things you could do with this? I love this watercolor garland and I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with it. So pretty. Okay, so I'm going to insert that as an image and I'm going to just set this aside real quick. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the actual label. So I'm going to go back to the shapes, but I'm going to do it for a different reason. I'm going to be making a border for my label first. So I'm just going to kind of drag this out really to any size and I will make this pink. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab another one. What I'm trying to do is just make a border really quick. I'm just going to do one all myself. Come on, everybody. Oh, don't give me the rainbow wheel today. Okay, so I'm just going to drag this over here. And what I'm doing is just creating a custom border. Okay, so I'm sure Cricut has something like this in the image, in the images, but sometimes it takes forever to for me to find some things. So I'm just going to make my own. Make sure this one is a little bit out. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab both of them and I'm going to hit the slice tool, and this is going to slice out the center. So I'm just left with this. Okay. So now that I have this, I'm going to size it and put it up here. So I have my outline of my label. Okay, and so my idea is that I'm going to just rotate this and place it, bring to front. I'm going to place it kind of in the corner here. That is going to be so pretty. Okay, and so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a text, and I'm using the font Straight and Simple. It is very pretty. It's just straight and simple. Okay, and so then I don't need that anymore. I'm going to type in vinyl. Okay, and then I will make this pink. Now I'm going to bring up my text here and just kind of size it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to letter spacing, and I'm just going to add a little space between some of those letters and just kind of drag them out a little bit. Okay, that looks really good to my eye. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to drag these two off, and I want to cut off the area, this top corner where the floral decal is going to be, because I do not want to place vinyl on top of vinyl. You're going to see, a crease in the vinyl where the border is underneath it. It's just not going to look professional and polished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut away where that floral piece is going to be on top. So what I'll do is I'm just going to grab a shape box, and I'm just going to kind of start playing around with cutting here. I'm going to try less is more here to start. Oh, before I do that, let me, since I have this perfected, I'm going to duplicate my little box here because I might need it at other times. So I'm going to duplicate this and just hide this. Just in case I want to come back to this file in the future and do something different, I want to make sure that I have this duplicated. Okay, so I'm just going to hide that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab these two and I'm going to hit slice. And it's going to start slicing away at the corner. So that part is gone. And I'm just going to come in and see how good that did that. I still need to slice away a little bit more. So I'm just going to, again, I would rather slice too little than too much. So I'm just going to take it slow and just keep slicing away. Okay, let's just try that again. That looks perfect. Okay, so that looks amazing. I love it. Okay, so now we are all set, and that just remedies that situation. The vinyl's going to lay straight onto the bin, and it's not going to be overlapping at all. So that is going to go, whoops, just like that. Whoops, goodness, everybody's tired today. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to weld my vinyl border and my vinyl word. I'm going to weld those two together so that they print exactly like that. So we'll just hit weld. And so now this is all one file. Okay, so let me just place that back where it went. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on these. I'm not going to add boxes because I think it'll just be a little too much for the inside space. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the letters, but I want the letters to all be the same size. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up to text. I'm still going to use Straight and Simple because I want to streamline my organization. I want everything to match. Even though one is going to be desktop and one is going to be in the drawer, I have a thing about matching. So, okay, so my first one is going to say markers. And, ooh, it doesn't have an and sign. And pens. That's okay. That's okay, I suppose. Okay, so, just pull this in here. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to color these just like that. Okay, so now the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to just duplicate this. well, should I do that? Can I duplicate and then let's see here. Let me see if it'll let me. Oh, it will. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate that so that all of my letters are the same size. So now my next one is going to be Postits. I'm going to do these on 2 different lines because I want to be able to really place them close together. So the next one is going to just say Post-it. Okay. And then we'll make that pink. And then the reason I did on 2 different lines is so that I can really drag them close together. Okay. Perfect. And now we'll just duplicate this one more time. Double click, and we will say stickers. I have some really cool planner stickers that I really like to use. So they're always kind of haphazard in this drawer, and now they'll have a specific home. Okay, so that's how I kind of made everything organized. Like I said, for this one, I did some spacing, but for the inside ones, I'm fine with them being just at their default spacing. I think it looks just fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get these cut. So what I'll do is I'm going to go over here to, oh no, let's hide all of the boxes first. So let me go ahead and hide all these boxes. We don't need the Cricut hiding or cutting out boxes. We'll just click make it. Okay, and so then this little floral piece is going to go on the printable vinyl. And then this piece, I'm just going to drag these a little bit. We are going to just cut these out of, oh, whoops, let me go back. Do you see how Post-its is just kind of like haphazard here? We are going to go ahead and weld this guy. So we're just grabbing the 2 of these and just welding them together. That way they print exactly like before. Let me just do an align, center horizontally. Okay, perfect. That just make sure that they're perfectly centered, and we're going to click weld. Okay, now back at it. So first again, this one's going on printable vinyl. This one, now the Post-its are together. I'm just going to drag these out to give me a little bit of grace in between my cuts. Okay, that's all perfect. And then we will click continue. Now it's just going to locate my maker via Bluetooth. Okay, so then for this print, it's going to tell me to print it first. And then once I come back, what I'll do is I will put it through the maker and I will select this printable vinyl. For my second one, I will select this vinyl setting. So I just wanted to let you know which settings I was going to click because I'm not going to actually show you this screen during the next portion. So again, printable vinyl goes through the printer first to print the design, then it goes with the printable vinyl setting. This will go with the vinyl setting. All right, let's get everything printed and get going. Okay, so it came off the printer. So pretty. And I do like this color matched with it, but I need to grab a fresh roll because I don't think my scraps are going to quite work. So I am going to use this light pink vinyl. This is a Hobby Lobby brand. It's Paper Studio. I really like it. It's just so pretty. It actually matches really close to the new tulip color that Cricut has for their smart vinyl. So I was happy to see that Cricut has something similar. Okay, so I think those are going to match super nice. You could also do like a fun green. There's so many colors you can pull out of this one floral sticker. So go ahead and make this however you would like. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this loaded, and we are going to load our printable vinyl first. Now another thing is before I clicked out of my computer screen camera, I did go ahead and add bleed on. So I do recommend that you add the bleed feature on when you are doing printable vinyl. I think it just makes it for a really clean cut. It just, what it does is it adds a little more ink than necessary along the edges. That way when it goes to cut, then it really meets somewhere in between and does a really nice clean cut. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place my vinyl on here. And if you notice, it fed through my printer at half a sheet. So I'm super excited about that because I didn't want to waste this vinyl. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my brayer tool, and I'm just going to Make sure that's all down. Now, if you'll notice, I'm laying this on my mat exactly from the printer. So I'm not gonna do anything with these registration marks. These black lines are what the Cricut is gonna use to read the image. So these are called registration marks or registration lines. The maker is actually going to go ahead and scan these because it will then know where to cut in reference to the lines. So make sure you do not do anything once it comes off the printer. Leave it just like this and then feed it into your maker. So now what I'll do is I will just go ahead and I'm going to click the printable vinyl setting, and then I'm going to load. And I'm at default pressure, and I'm just going to allow this to cut. So while that is cutting, what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and take some rubbing alcohol and some little cotton swabs, and I am going to prep the surfaces that I am going to be placing vinyl on. So you can see that it's first initially doing its scan, so there's no cutting going on yet, and it's just scanning all of those lines. And this is just rubbing alcohol from the grocery store, from my favorite place, Target. Okay, so I'm just gonna rub in there, just make sure the surface is all clean. There's a lot of little debris in there. Okay. Oh my goodness, that's already done cutting. Good. That's exciting. Okay, perfect. So what about you guys? Do you guys enjoy organizing? Because it kind of puts me in my happy place for sure. Okay, so that is all done. It does a good job. It actually just cuts, for this file, it just cuts around the border. So I suppose bleed doesn't even matter for this particular file. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and take that off like this. And we will go ahead and load our vinyl. So we're going to the next one, and we're going to reset our settings to vinyl. And we're just going to place this fresh roll right on the mat. Okay. Perfect. So I'm just going to make sure that's all down. Okay. And then we can load, and it will cut out all of our letters. Okay, so now cut. And then while it's doing that, we will just wash off the other bin, and then we will get to weeding. So let's press go. We'll see how long it takes to do these little letters. It shouldn't take too long. Okay, so what we'll do is that's still cutting. It's about 25%. And what we'll do is we're just going to weed out this little floral image. This is so pretty. I'm gonna have to do a ton more organization with this file, because now I'm going to make one for every bin, I think. So always keep your project saved in Design Space. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and pull away the edges. And this is really ideal. It's going to leave me with one single file image. So it's going to be able to peel up just like a sticker would. This is the final. It's so pretty, you guys. If you guys are wanting to decorate your Cricut, I did a whole tutorial on how to do that right up here. I'll link it. This would be a really fun file to decorate your Cricut with. So, and it's already pre-done, so it's all ready to go. So definitely consider this one. Okay, so that one is still cutting, and we're just going to wait for that one, and I am going to get everything else situated, and we will get ready to weed and get it on them, or get it on all of the little organization bins. I'm so excited. Okay, so that is already done. I'll go ahead and unload. Looks amazing. Oh my goodness, this text was so fun. It kind of looks a little Ray Dunn inspired, in my opinion. Doesn't it? Do you guys think? That's not really why I chose it, actually. I just thought it looked really visually nice, but now that I look at it more and more, I'm like, why does that look familiar? Okay, so if you do like Ray Dunn, then there is a little font you can use. Okay, so I'm just going to make a little slit there and then turn it over. I like to use these little grids to cut because they help keep my vinyl straight. You can also use your paper trimmer as well. Okay, we'll set this off to the side because we're creating a nice organized home for you. Okay, so now make sure, because I think I have some other scraps that I can save. Being very careful not to cut my actual design. Okay. Keep any and all scraps that you have because they come in handy. Trust me. Okay, so now what we can do is we can go ahead and get this all weeded. I'm going to run a little scraping tool over it just because I have some really skinny letters. Make sure everything is in its place. Okay, so now I'm going to grab just a corner, and I'm going to go really slow for this because those letters are fine. They're really skinny, and I just want to make sure that I don't accidentally rip one or pull one up. Okay, it's weeding really nice though. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to grab this little surrounding area here and do my big one. Pretty. This color is going to look so nice together. So fun. Okay, so I'm going to run really quick and do the middles. We're almost all set. We're a step closer to organization. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that is all weeded. I'm just going to make sure all of my little scrap pieces are put away in the garbage. Okay, so now I can set this to the side, and let's go ahead and start with the big one because I'm just way too anxious to wait any longer on that. So I'm going to cut out the big one, and I'm going to just place it on some transfer tape. So we'll leave our other pieces to the side, and I'm just going to grab a piece of transfer tape and lay it nicely over this piece of vinyl. Okay. So this is a masking paper transfer tape. I really like it a lot. Works really well, and you can reuse it a couple times too, so it really is nice. So we'll work on some reusing of vinyl this morning. See how far we can get with it. So I have a little bit of scrap piece there. Okay, so using my little squeegee tool, I'm just going to press. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we are going to remove the backing. And so this is going to transfer our design from the carrier sheet that we cut on to the transfer tape. And the transfer tape is going to allow us, just for any beginners who are watching, transfer tape, its purpose is to transfer it over to our project, which will be the bin. That's coming off really nice. And I always keep my weeding tool close by because sometimes a couple pieces just need a little convincing to lay down, and super easy to do so. Okay. All right, I'm gonna just reposition the camera a little bit, and then we will get to placing this on. It's hard to see because it's it's a very foggy transfer tape, so I'll show you in just a second. Okay, so here is our bin, and what we're gonna do is we are gonna lay down the vinyl piece first, the word vinyl. So I'm just going to try to center this as much as possible. Okay. It's about 2.5 inches and 2.5 inches. We'll just stick there. Just want to make sure now that it's straight. No, I actually think it is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press in the middle and press to the sides. You guys will be able to see this pretty blush in just a second. Making sure it's all down. Okay. And then we can just peel away a corner. Perfect. That looks so nice. Okay, so now what we can do is we can just apply this like we would a sticker. And it's actually a blessing that it is cutting this way, because now we can really place it very easily. So you're just going to literally peel it very carefully like you would a sticker. Okay. And then we'll just kind of position it. And lay it right down. Just like that. Pretty. I love how that looks. That is so nice. I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the inner drawer inserts. Okay, so we have this little piece of transfer tape that we can reuse. So let's do, is this long enough for the markers and pens? It sure is. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab the little markers and pens. Word. And we'll just scrape this down. And we're just going to do the exact same steps here. So I'll show you one, and then I'll kind of flip-flop with my scissors there. I don't think I could do that twice. Okay, so I'll show you how you can apply one, and then you'll kind of get the idea, and I can kind of fast forward a little bit, so you don't have to watch me do all three. But again, just for the sake of repetition, we're going to just do the same process, and then we're going to leave it laying face down and then pull the carrier sheet using our weeding tool just to kind of keep it handy to help nudge all those little pieces that just aren't quite convinced they want to listen this morning. Okay, so I have them all on my sheet, but my little M is on a tweezers over here because it was giving me a little bit of trouble, so I'm going to put it down separately. So I'm just going to center as best as I can in this little space and go ahead and lay down. Okay, get those pieces all in there. And feel free to use any color vinyl that you like. Markers and pens. Oh, that's going to be so cute. Okay. All right, and then let me lay this little M down. It's being a stinker this morning. So the tweezer tools come in definite handy if you have one that's just kind of clinging. It was definitely clinging to me this morning. Okay, so markers and pens. Might pull that up just a little and re-straighten it. Okay, so there's the markers and pens. And then I will go ahead and do the rest. Now, I am going to discard my transfer tape because this being so fine of a font, I don't feel like reusing was being very helpful. It was kind of losing its stick on the second time around, and that being paired with a really fine font was kind of making it a little difficult. So in order to keep this project successful, we're just going to grab new pieces of transfer tape for each one. If you have a thicker font, it'll probably be a little better for reusing materials, but since this is so skinny, it's going to really need all the help it can get to just stick down because there's just not a lot of surface area to stick, so we really need it to be super sticky where it does. Okay, so again, using my weeding tool, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the second two to my little insert. Okay, so now we're just placing the last one in there. It looks so good. And a brighter pink would look super good too. This is kind of, it's more of a cream color than white, so it doesn't pop as much as it would if it was white, but it sure looks awesome. I'm really happy with it. Looks like I got a little debris in there. Okay. All right, so that was the final. I love how it looks, so pretty. So now we can just place little pens in this one and some Post-its in here. And then some stickers, which are super fun. Do you guys do Emily Lay? I love her planners. I feel like I've been using her planners for probably 3 or 4 years now. They're amazing. And I'll link my planner down if you guys want to see what I use. But she also has stickers. So fun. And sometimes I forget to use them, but when I'm at my organizational best, it's fun. They have like birthday party stickers and lots of things, just like, you know, make sure your planner is all up to date, and it's just super fun. Okay, so that's a little off topic, but anyway, I love how this all turned out. It's so fun, and I'm going to continue to organize behind the scenes, so I hope this kind of helped give you guys a little bit of inspiration for organizing. And let me bring ahead that other bin so you guys can see that one as well. So there everything is. So now I'm going to get all my vinyl placed super nice in here. I can put my little rolls and just stand them all up, and it's going to look so, so sweet. Okay guys, if you found this helpful and you guys are going to start organizing as well, make sure you give this a thumbs up. I'm so happy to have you guys here. And make sure that you guys are all subscribed, because there's going to be some more fun things coming up. And I really can't wait for you to see the next few videos that I have planned. They're going to be really, really fun. All right, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.